Hey there, Silver-Tongued Devil here, and tonight we are going to play Vampire: The Masquerade Justice. This is one that we have some keys to give away, once again brought to you by the great people at Fast Travel Games who published this awesome game. This one's almost a year old. I've played this when it first came out, and on and off, arguably, between now and then. If you are looking for a vampire game in VR, this is it. If you are looking for what I would define in the genre as a true stealth game, this is it. But also, if you just want to get your vampire on and suck some blood out of various things, ranging from humans all the way down to rats, this is also it as well. Now, as far as settings are concerned, we've got the usual stuff. I always make a point of trying to show off comfort options, various degrees of rotational vignettes, movement vignettes, and blink arcs as well. This is all very welcome, because if you have a game where you are trying to gain your VR legs, being able to change it from different degrees down to nothing is how I did it. And so anything that has variation in that is always a good thing. But I like to be able to show that off. We are going to represent ourselves with just hands tonight. I don't know about you guys, but I always find arms in VR games just always look a bit janky or just get in the way. As far as games are concerned, I've 100%ed this. There are a lot of collectibles, different ways to approach missions, and objectives and bonus objectives to be completed. So, quite a lot of work to go back and do, so it gives you things to get yourself back into the environment if you want to. But we shall go for a standard. Now, you get to pick male and female hands depending on what you want. We'll go for male hands, and then you can select
my sire was a cruel teacher,
female voice or male voice. So you can be male or female. Hello Raven's Truth, and hello Epizan. We'll see. There's ways and means. There's ways and means.
I know it is customary for an elder to give fledglings an introduction into the world of the kindred. Unfortunately, you'll have to make do with me. You know me already. I'm Justice. It's not my real name, but I'm not sure that's important to anyone anymore. It certainly isn't for me. Mahmoud, my sire,
it's not liking me moving around.
At first just to mock me, then to keep me on the path, as he used to say. Eventually I embraced it. It's what drives me, and it's only natural that I identify with it completely. I, like you, am a child of Hakim. Our services were called for at times by the New York Kindred Lords, but mostly we followed our own agenda. We killed for the greater good, and we kept to ourselves among the ancient texts and relics he had found over the centuries. And then he was killed, and one of his most prized relics was stolen. I inquired among the Camarilla, but no one offered any help, too busy playing their own power games. That's when he contacted me. Said someone in the Hecata was behind it. That if I wanted justice, I should go to Venice.
Your local leaders, they're afraid to stir the pot. Maybe something unseemly floats to the surface. It's all politics, of course. Why commit to something today that might bite you in the ass tomorrow?
Good evening.
Venice, Italy. There was a Nosferatu waiting for me there. The low ground. Someone that could help me. But Kaiser said he did have an agenda of his own.
And yes, to whoever said about the whole Saints and Sinners art style, this is very much it. And it runs very well because of it. Or at least I think so, anyway. For Quest 3 Native, it's one of the more impressive ones that I've seen, and it works very well.
There was no love between me and my sire. Every sunrise I cursed him for the life he gave me, but he was right about one thing. The guilty must be punished. I knew that someone had to pay, and a Nosferatu named Pietro would lead me toward them.
Maybe you can find a way to help each other. Oh, and if you make it back, do remember who gave you the tip. Now that I've scratched your back, maybe you can scratch mine.
There is Weebs. What do we reckon? Do we want them on or do we want them off? I'll let you choose now. Go for minority or majority wins. I think there's a subtitle option. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, subtitles show or hide. I usually leave them on for the purposes of a stream because some people might be wanting to follow along with the story so that they don't have to do it if they play it and go into the intro. So we have the ability to long reach. Oh, can you not? Oh, in that case then. I'll get them off. If you can't even see them, then they're just going to get in the way, aren't they? Let's go there and there. There we go. Subtitles off. So all the options are here that you're going to need for those sort of things. And there's no targeting. You literally point at an item and then hold grip and then a little flick. And the trick is when you flick to hold your hand where it is when you flicked. Otherwise, you'll miss it. So fairly standard stuff. And these are all useful in the game of stealth, as you'll see very soon. I mean, we could press a button, couldn't we? Or we could do it ourselves. I already have my stalker vampire pose on. It's been a while since I played the introduction. We will, as I said, you can't get onto the roofs, most of them, but a lot of this you can traverse, because like any good vampire, we have the ability to flit. Throne's actually pretty good in this as well. They call it blinking in this, but I've always referred to it as flitting. Aim with your hand and release to blink. So this is literally a hold B action, and you're across. I'd prefer that to have been hands, but these are little things. Now, this is one of the things that I like about this game, is that the way the climbing does, or the way the climbing feels, especially when you are going up, is that you can do the yeah, but we're a vampire. We're superhuman. We can jump quite high. There is an element of teleporting. For those of you who are fans of overhead climbing, happy days, you are catered for. For those of you who are not, you can simply move yourself up onto the top and walk over them. They both work very well. This is going to be the sort of scene that you are going to see a lot of in this game. We are going to be above, and like any good enemy or AI in a good stealth game, they never, ever look up. Although everything can be open, there's very rarely anything that you can do with them. However, there are a couple of tidbits and secrets hidden within. This is one of those games where the secrets that you find and the objectives, the bonus objectives you complete, make you either stronger in abilities or more life. I used to love it. I'm not going to be reading these things out. That's something that you guys can do. But we can loot, and sometimes there is things. Note, we didn't have to ask permission to enter here, because that's not how proper vampires work. Now, we also, for those who... I often don't do it because the game is intuitive enough, but one of the things that you are able to do is we are able to engage our hidden senses by holding the left trigger down, and that gives us the ability to see things that are hidden within the world or that have been left for us by potential other vampires. It also has the ability of highlighting all the enemies in your close proximity. Now, I know what you're thinking, because if you're part of Indy's crew, he fucking hates that. Do you know what the thing is? You just don't press the button. And so, unlike games that are supposed to be stealth, like Assassin's Creed and like Hitman VR and various other bits and pieces like that, you don't have to engage with that if you don't want to. And if you are having problems, you can, but you do not have to press the button. Now, rats are a source of blood. However, I intend to not be eating rats tonight. That is a Louis thing, not a Lestat thing. So, and there's a finding element and a various hidden bits and pieces. I mean, Weebs, you said that Indy's not a fan of, like, you know, showing the enemies off. I also know he's not a fan of keys, and when it comes to locks, whoo, definitely not a fan. I say that there's nothing in here. You can pick up and engage with quite a lot within this game, and then of course if you can pick it up, well then you can throw it and you can use it as a distraction, like any good stealth game.
The rain had been pouring down for months and had just let up.
Hello, Epicson. You are early.
A collective sigh of relief.
But welcome to the stream.
But I felt something else in the air too.
We'll be doing the first giveaway soon.
Unnatural.
But you gotta wait for the call.
Trying to keep me away.
So as I said, this, if you are a fan of creeping around along gangways and balconies and ledges and such, do remember as well that if you play this game correctly, this can be a power fantasy, but to begin with, you do feel a little bit like the underdog. I've played this game reasonably extensively, although I cannot remember a massive amount. What would I add or change? I would put some sort of mode into it. I don't know if this is going to be... You know what? I don't care if it's a popular opinion. Put some kind of roguelike mode into it and more abilities and maybe some trees to go in different directions. Because one of the things that I do know from the world of Darkness is, well, there's a lot of abilities. There's whole Dungeons and Dragons style RPGs based around the world of Darkness. There's a lot of things to this. Put some kind of roguelike mode where, I don't know, you just go to an area and the streets are randomly generated and the situations that you come up against are randomly generated. Sometimes you have to sneak through, sometimes you don't. Permanent death would then become... So the campaign would then prepare you for a much harder and longer lived game. It was the only thing that I found with this is when I got to the end of it. Not that it's short. When I got to the end of it, I just wanted more. So we can use our blink to attack enemies as well. So this is where, as far as I'm concerned, our stealth goes out of the window. And you literally just hold and blink into them. So killing is particularly easy. We're not eating rats. Not tonight. You'll see that we have our hunger here. That was one hell of a headshot. What caliber's that? Jesus! Don't point it over here. And it's funny, what this game does for me is, it is a stealth game, so you should be taking things slowly. But I always want to take things slowly on this game, because that's how you should. And then all of a sudden you find yourself stalking. Now, is there actually a tutorial for this? There is. This is still the tutorial, so ignore most of the fact that we don't have to be stealthy here. Drinking the blood of the living mortals also heals you. Grab your victim and lean towards their neck to drink their blood. Pull away at the right time for an extra boost of replenished hunger, because you should never drink from something that its heart has stopped, as we know. Yeah, it is. So the way that the game works is you will get various abilities. So this is not just your... Oh no, it is different, isn't it? I forget that there's a life bar in this, because if you play it stealthily, you very rarely have to engage with the health bar at all. You recover your health and your hunger through drinking blood, be it from humans or, in my case, humans. Definitely not rats. And you can leap, as I said, quite majestically along here. So those of you who suffer from a little bit of VR vertigo, well, yeah. Just look straight ahead. You'll be fine. Look straight ahead. You'll be fine at all times. So your hunger fuels some of your abilities. Later on, we will be getting a little hand crossbow, which gives us some range when it comes to proceedings. How dark is this? Because I know... but how many games do you actually bite? The thing is, I don't really see the blood. I just have the effect. And you have to grab and then lean in. And you can grab how you want to as well, as long as you are grabbing around the head and the shoulders. So you can just grab with one hand and bite, or you can grab both shoulders, which is how I used to do it until I was like, you fucking idiots, that way. Lots and lots of surfaces are mantleable and climbable within this as well. That's where you will find a lot of the secrets in this game. And one of the other ones that I think it does mention within the tutorial, but I'll make a point of doing it because I've found it very helpful, is if you are falling and you hold your blink button, you get that little bit of slow time, which can allow you, if you fall accidentally, because that'll happen at the start, if you fall accidentally or you are trying to dive down onto something and plot your attack, that's what you use. It is going to be, I mean, as long as you've got an idea of what's going on, but what I can potentially do is turn up the brightness. So, Cloak of Shadows is pre-selected display. Again, this is another way that you can play the game if you want to, but whilst you are learning, I'd highly recommend you use it. So, the Cloak of Shadows is something that drains our blood. We go onto the disciplines wheel, select it, and then when we hold A, we can basically become invisible. Cool. Good, good. So we can hold A. I'll tell you as well, it is very satisfying biting people, and you are supposed to grab, bite, and discard, like the soggy tissue that human has thus become, because we have their blood. No espressos. We were supposed to sneak past that one, but yeah, we're not on mission yet, so... Breaking the Masquerade.
No one's
Oh, as in... I don't think it matters in this. As in revealing your identity.
That is the night here.
Good evening. It's going to happen sometimes. Now, if I remember rightly, our first secret is under there.
I was away on
There
a
we go.
job. When I
So,
got back, I went,
lots
as always,
and
to deliver my
lots
report
of
to
little
Mom.
things like that and collectibles.
I found
Some
it.
people love it, some people
Dry
hate it.
collection of skin and bones. Someone had rammed a stake through his heart, nailed him to the floor, and cut off his head. The place had been torn apart. Someone had been searching for something specific. Eventually, I realized what was missing. A Venetian statuette Mahmoud had brought to the States when he left the Alamut. I thought I would be free of his influence, but I was wrong. I couldn't let his murder go. Couldn't let this theft go unpunished. I had to
I'll try.
find who did this and bring them to justice.
I'll try and keep quiet for the vast majority of cutscenes. Maybe I won't pick up quite so many of the secrets, and I've got them all on one of my profiles. There are lots and lots of bits and pieces. Okay, I'm going to go and vampire over there now, and you guys are going to put vampires in chat. So if you'd like to win a copy of the game, we have 3 copies to give away on the Quest 3 tonight. If you would be so good as to put a vampire emoji in the chat, that will register you for this giveaway and this giveaway only. You only need to put 1 vampire. As I said previously, I believe there are male, female, and I suppose non-binary vampires within the emoji menu. So yeah, knock yourself out. There's no wrong choice here. And if you have the other game, and you want to participate within the emoji thing, well, just put something amusing in. I should give you an example, shouldn't I? I'm doing this for chat. We won't be doing this anymore. But you literally grab a vampire, you grab a rat, and you can have a snack on the go. But it fucking tastes disgusting.
Any action at your location?
In some areas, hidden clues might be important for you to find your way. Your heightened senses might give you a hint to look around the area. So, as you can see, my hidden senses when you engage. Now, it doesn't give like a full-on outline of the enemies, but as you guide your hand over them, it does mark their heartbeats for a little bit. Now, in most stealth games, and it doesn't last very long either, in most stealth games, I don't agree with, you know, that, because it then makes it a bit of a stealth game trivial when you know where everybody is, especially in this first person view. But you can use it if you want to. You don't have to engage with it if you don't want to. I try to use it as little as possible. It is also part of the puzzle finding element a lot of the time. These are very important. You collect a number of these. So, more collectibles. These are collectibles. 4 of those will upgrade our health by 1 bar. You can play through the entire game. You can play through the entire game and not need health upgrades. You can play through the entire game, and as if memory serves, you don't need any of the upgrades or any of the various bits and pieces. And yes, we'll do plenty of killing, but we don't need to at the moment. Now, I know what Indy thinks stealth is, but stealth is moving through an area without being seen and without killing. And in these kind of games, it is reasonably easy to do so because nobody ever looks up. Why would they? They're not expecting us.
Searching for the intruder.
Yeah, you search. You search, buddy. gameplay history. Yeah. Quite. If you've just got here and this is a game that you like the look of history, the giveaway is on at the moment and it's vampires in the chat. If you press the emoji button, hello Indy. There you go. It's like I knew you were coming in, Indy. I killed one just for you so that it's stealthy, but they know that somebody's been here, as opposed to obliterating everybody, because that's what you would do, isn't it? It's all right, love. He's just asleep. The one advantage that you get when you kill them via blinking, they take a while to disappear, which then can alert AI. If you bite them and you time it right, they disappear more quickly. I mean, it is going to be to do with limitations of the game system, but you could also say that, you know, part of the law. As far as the emojis are concerned, if you go into the emoji thing and type vampire into the little search bar that comes up when you type it, when you put it in, you should be able to see it, and once you've hit it once, it will then be within your recents. But yeah, hopefully that helps. Looks like we are going to have to kill her. But thankfully we can get out of this reasonably tricky situation. I don't know if she's going to fuck off, you know. Oh. Bye-bye. I could. Oh, I will. I do need a quick bite. We were looking a little shy on hunger. Oh, do I have to kill them all anyway? Oh, damn. So, again, one thing that I really like, yes, you can do this, but it's much more vampiric to fly up these, and you actually get that feeling of being superhuman, as you are. And this game captures it very nicely once you become familiar with the controls. Although, there is an element here of me not knowing of what to do, because it's been a while. I'll have to check. I might have to check the objectives in a minute. Was it? Yeah. So the Indie VR button is located on the left controller, so you can hold that down and it'll basically tell you what you need to do next. You don't even need to go into a menu or request hint. You can just press a button, and as long as you remember to do it and point things in the right way, you should be fine. So we didn't have to kill all of those, but we could. Do I remember why that pipe's there? Might be a secret on there. So we can use a cloak of shadows when sneaking up on enemies before they spot me. Oh, I've already got that on. Yeah, I have already got that on. Slowly. There we go. Right. Or we could just hide like a regular person. I think shadows work in this. No, they do not.
What, me? No, I'm fine.
A special button just for you, Indy. Right. End it there, chat. And we shall have ourselves a winner, Von, please. For our first giveaway of the evening. As I said as well, because obviously you didn't, you'd probably like this. This is the stealth game that you might have been after. Like, I look at a game like Hitman VR, which Indy did cover, and he covered very well, because, you know, it's shit. And this feels like a game made for VR. This is good. Well done, Warmark. I would celebrate by killing a human in your honor, but I'm going to be able to because there wasn't any around.
Far stronger than it should be. Mere mortals shouldn't have put me in actual danger. I would do well not to underestimate my new enemy.
Good evening, fellow human. So you can kill people as well, and as I said, you can hold the left trigger button, and as long as you point at an enemy, it will show off their heart. Now, at least we are a vampire, and we should have that ability and its heightened senses. And as I said, you can use that to mark enemies if you want to, but the mark does not stay very long, and if you're like me, you just don't play that button. There you go, this one's for you, Mark. This one's for Mark. My only concern with this game, so as you can see there, because I hit the bar, that body disappeared very quickly. My only thing one of the things that I would add to this game is that you would have to dispose of the bodies. But then that's the thing, is you don't have to engage with the killing in this game much at all. You can go through the entire level, not kill a soul, and just live off of rats. Now that's stealth, is it not? And there are reasons often to revisit some of these levels, because some of the abilities that you get will allow you to do different things in different levels, mainly the crossbow and the various things that you can get. They did add a nice feature so that you can easily go back to all of the levels, and you can check which ones you have completed all the objectives for, got the collectibles for. So although there are a lot of collectibles and there's a lot of bits and pieces to find, it at least points you in the right direction, instead of what a lot of obnoxious games that have all of these collectibles do. It go, oh, there's 10 fucking circles in the game. Off you go then. And it's like, yeah, I got 9. Where's that last one? I'm not searching through the entire game. You don't have to on this. It'll tell you at least what level it's on. I can tell you what, though, some of them are still really well hidden. We are working on a basic XP system. You get a little bit of choice as to what you should go for in the early game, and then if you play each of the levels well, you can pretty much have most things unlocked. Again, as I said, you don't need a lot of the unlocks in this game, but it then allows you to become even more powerful and even more OP than you can become. The levels dive between the sewer-like levels and into various structures and the streets of Venice. The streets of Venice that we were just in is actually quite big and quite expansive when you have it all unlocked and the ability to traverse it. You just go wandering in the streets of Venice. There is reason to. But not for us. It's one of the few games, like there's a lot of games where it's like, oh, just press the duck button. I don't want to. You don't have to duck a lot in this game. Again, for a quest, well, this was originally on the Quest 2, and for a Quest 2/Quest 3 standalone, I think they should probably see about doing more games in this style, because I can't think of too many bad ones. I mean, the first Saints of Sinners was great. The second one I haven't played, and from what I can gather, with good reason. But these ones, they always seem to be able to do a lot with the game. And it always seems to work very well. This is a very smooth experience. And again, I can go much faster than this, but I'm vampire, aren't I? So these medallions that you see up here, they are a collectible. We haven't got our trusty hand crossbow yet, so we can't actually interact with that at the moment. So this is a level that we would have to come back to. We're okay with water, but we can't swim. Do know that. I don't know if that's an inherent weakness within the world of darkness, that vampires can cross water in this world and go into water, but submerged, they fail. Or it's either that or it's just we couldn't be bothered to put swim mechanics in, Dave. So just make it so the player dies. You can see that there's things for us to get. We are going to have to get the sewer key. But to be fair, I don't think we're going to have the crossbow, so there's probably no point looking for it. To be fair, I can't remember where it is, and I think that's an optional. You can use your heightened senses to sense enemy heartbeats and view directions through walls. So you can scan the level and it'll give you an idea of the way that they are looking and their position. But as I said, it doesn't last very long, but it doesn't use... I didn't think it used any of our hunger. But again, if you like me and Indy, just don't touch the button. Simple as that. You've got enough tools to work with. I mean, I could. I'm going to have to perform a blink attack. Or could I go up and around? The one thing that I do like as well is, because of the various options that you have, you can stealth the game, you can brute strength the game, and also through the... and then you can do a combination of the two. And because of the way the game works, there's often a lot of different paths and a lot of different ways and means to take. You don't have to do anything like that, I just feel like doing so. Up the chain. For some reason, the rats are very weak in this game. Just picking them up, they're not used to a vampire's touch. So they just die if you drop them without feeding on them. Do we have the option to go over the top of this guy? Yeah, so we could go up there and we could go around him if we really wanted to. To be fair, I think he's low enough that he would spot him. Grab your victim and lean in towards their neck. Oh, really? So this is the kicker of it. Pull away at the right time for an extra boost of replenishment. So it does give you more back, in addition to the fact that their bodies disappear faster. But there's no real penalty, even if you hold on to them, other than that they just spend a very long time dying. Sometimes the animations are good, sometimes not so much, and then they stay there for a very, very long time. Now, I know that doesn't feel like a very long time. No, we can't grab her. I know that probably doesn't feel or look like a very long time. In fact, are you actually going to disappear? That is a very long time. But if you grab them and you time it well, you can get rid of the bodies incredibly quickly. There you go. There it goes. So the difference in biting and stopping it on the bar, you're rewarded for it, in that you can get more hunger back and the enemy disappears more quickly as well. Yeah, I know. If I remember rightly, the sewer key, I think we can get it. It's down one of these extra passageways, but I'll leave you guys to look at that because it's all extras and I just want to get a bit of depth into this game so that you can see what it's about. You do have a cooldown on the blink side of things. You can use it once every 5 seconds, so it isn't a case of you can just tear in and absolutely destroy everybody with the blink. Now we're going to meet our first Nosferatu. We are a child of Hakim. These are different factions within the world of vampires. The rest of them escape me at the moment. But the children of Hakim are the assassins of this world, or the vampire assassins. Oh no, that's where we've just come from. Vampire assassins of this world. Now, this is our hub. So this is where we're going to be spending time before we go out on missions. And there are various secrets to be discovered here. This is where we're going to be doing what little leveling up there is to do. And this is also where you can check on all of the lure. Yeah, alright, I'll be with you in a second, Nosferatu. So, this is where all of your collectibles get stored, and then any lore that you want to go back and listen to, you literally just pick them up. And yep, we can go. I found that there's a little spot up here that they allow you to go to. So if you want to vamp it up from the top here, or if you're doing a, I don't know, a YouTube video and this is where you wanted to do your introduction, well then you could. And then up the, I think it's either across or up the top there, there is the level select. You don't unlock the level select until you've completed the game. So do that, bear that in mind when you are trying to complete objectives. Shh. But this is where the level select unlocks. Oh no, it's sooner than I thought, so they've made that so that you can engage with it a lot sooner. And then that allows you at a glance to see what you've got, what you've missing, and which mission to go back to. All in all, I think there's about 14 missions, plus you can just go wandering in a lot of the bigger places as well. There is quite a lot to this game. Anyway, let's not keep let's not keep Pretty Boy listening.
I've been waiting for you.
I am Pietro. Your contact must have mentioned me. I was not finished.
That's all right, I'm still listening. Oh. Fine.
I am Pietro. Your contact must have mentioned me. I think you
Doesn't
and I
trust
have
me
tried
yet.
beneficial agreements.
So they're in here so you can play the way that you want to play. Some of these choices, this is what I was talking about previously. The choices in this game don't really have a lot of weight. Like, for instance, if you play aggressively all the way through the game, it doesn't change the story. There are various places where doing one or the other will have an effect. But unfortunately, for story-based stuff, it's just whether you want to be a dick or not. And we want to be a dick.
I'm here on my own business. You do well to remember that.
That's no way to start a relationship. I'll share what I know, but you have to be prepared to help me in return.
Just tell me what you know about the attack on Mahmoud. We'll start there.
Things have been stirring here these last couple of months. There is unrest in the Hekata ranks. A conflict brewing between the local lords. And I suspect you and your sire ended up in the crossfire. The corpse fuckers are searching far and wide for relics of a certain origin. I guess your sire didn't want to give theirs up. Luckily, your search to find the killer crosses paths with my own investigation. I've collected my thoughts for you on the table over there.
Okay, let the investigation begin. You can, in a pinch, use your vampiric senses to locate rats, because sometimes they can be actually quite difficult to find. Although this one we can't eat, can we? We're not going to eat you because you're in a cage. So, would you like this brick? Anything that you can pick up can basically be used as a distraction. As I said, best to hold still when you pick up before moving again. Otherwise things can have a tendency of zorping past you or smacking you in the mouth. Did you not want me to engage with this? Oh no, you want me to talk to that still.
In Venice, the Hekata have their fingers in everything. The mortals might not know it, but they are everywhere. They might delude themselves and call this a city of love. But those of us who live in the shadows know better. As with any organization that grows too big, it eventually becomes unwieldy. The same goes for the Hekata. I think our best bet is to find a way in via Elena Giovanni. She is not all there, shall we say. In my dealings with the local underclass of kindred help, I have often interacted with a man named Lorenzo. He will be easy to lean on for information, and rumor has it, he is in possession of something really juicy regarding our friend Elena. I would start by finding him. Suggest it's in his best interest to let us partake of that information.
Worth noting,
usually hangs
no
out
fall
at
damage.
temples
We
and
are superhuman after all. Come on now. So now we're going to take a trip to the inner sanctum. And again, little things. This, we've all seen games. Like, I look at Hitman VR and think, like, look at this game. This game was out last year. And it's not a massive IP, but it's one of those kind of culty IPs. And it's a good IP as well. There's a lot of depth here. VR, Hitman, arguably much bigger. How they did a great job of this on a smaller team and smaller budget, and then a terrible job of Hitman. Definitely a cash grab. But little things, like for instance, we have to spill our own blood here to be able to go to the sanctum. And we do so by gripping. Digging your own nails into your flesh to spill some blood to travel to the inner sanctum. Sanctum. There's no I in sanctum.
I need to become stronger to be able to face my enemy. They are more powerful than I expected.
So, I suppose this is, for me, probably the weaker element of the game. Thankfully, you don't really need any of this. There's a handful of unlocks. If you're playing through for the first time and you want the OP experience, get them all. Use the upgrade tree in the inner sanctum to unlock your first discipline. And it's literally just and again as well, it's just a point and click. So we can go with Intimidate, which is, in conversation you have a moderate chance to succeed in threatening NPCs. It just unlocks additional paths and collectibles. So that's a second playthrough thing. You don't need that to begin with. It isn't going to make anything easier or harder. You're just going to be, well, I mean, you may be able to get some extra bits and bobs. But we do have to buy something to be able to advance, so don't get that one. Uncommon appetite. Rats aren't tasty, but sometimes their blood is all that is available. This lets you replenish slightly more hunger from drinking their bitter blood. Now, we don't really have a choice here. We have to get something. And we might have to get them both. I don't know. Nope, we just have to choose one. I think we wouldn't have even had enough XP. No, we would have had enough XP. Go for that one. As I said, it's not too complicated. You can get all of these unlocked very quickly. We do get some very cool vampiric abilities later on. Those vampiric abilities are very overpowered, like being able to drag people into the netherworld, go invisible for longer and better, and also kill from distance, and I think you're able to drink blood from a distance as well, a la Legacy of Kain. So, unfortunately we don't get the sword, so there's going to be no Victus from me tonight. Although, you can punch enemies. Most enemies take 2 hits to down as well, so either go in with the double punch or make sure you're ready for the 1-2 combo and then you'll put them down. Plenty of times I've snuck up to one expecting to be able to hit them once and get the kill. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, so always have that other one on standby, and make sure you make fists as well, because this guy's judo chop is not his strong suit. Now, we don't have the ability to get any of those medallions at the moment, but we will take note of where they are. Yeah, not quite. We're not quite on the level of Punch Girl, unfortunately. You can hit people with a brick, and that will stun them. Enemies kill you with guns, basically. So, and this is one of those things that I really like in VR games. Oh, not in VR games necessarily. In stealth games. In stealth games, I like games where they've got all the advantages and we are kind of forced to sneak if you want to play it that way. But this one, you're not forced to do anything. As I said, you can play this game very much how you like. We do have a limited range, and when we get the crossbow, we do have that, but it's not a great rate of fire, and you actually have to create your bolts using your own blood, which is cool, but that's where you need to be eating and feeding regularly.
I had assumed that the group of pale-faced freaks who ran this part of the city were just like any other kindred.
Whoa.
They would put themselves first. They had a goal in mind. They would step on whoever needed stepping on to reach it.
Now,
I was both right
there
and wrong.
is a secret right at the start.
Deeper than any other kindred I'd ever met. While those ties
Yeah, I think it's silver onion juice bullets, yes.
To make them snap.
It's definitely not bullets shaped as crosses. I'm actually quite fond of crosses. So our first secret that I can show you that is very easy to miss early on and could potentially help you, because remember, you need 4 of those little flasks for you to be able to increase your health bar by just 1 notch. And if memory serves, the way you have to do it is you jump across here and then flit to there. Missed it. Damn. Try again, idiot. So what you want to do is run out. Ah, I missed it again. You can tell I'm out of practice getting that one. It's one that I missed first time round as well, but it's worth getting. Most of them don't require much in the way of button presses, and that one's probably the most, I don't know, skill based, but you run off of the edge and then that allows you to get onto this balcony and get ourselves an additional little pot. So we now have 2 out of 4, another 2 of those and we will get a health upgrade. Now, at the moment, this is almost like another hub. We are just kind of traversing the streets, going to our next mission. And these streets you can eventually traverse front to back completely freely. But as you'll see, some doors are locked at the moment. So there is a little bit of a Metroidvania style to this, in that you will need... well, you basically need a certain kind of bolt to be able to start breaking some of these locks later. And I think you get given those ones, if memory serves. But we're going to start our first proper mission, the undertaking. And the mission will tell you as well, we need to complete the mission to get some XP. Predator, don't get spotted by enemy or security. Untouchable, don't sustain any damage. Now, both of those are optional, but they will give you more XP, which then will allow you to level up, which then will allow you to become very overpowered quite quickly as well. I think if you do all the bonus objectives on probably the first 5 or 6 missions,
Toward the haunts of Lorenzo, a weak-minded thug who worked for Anna and Rosa.
you can unlock most of the tech tree.
To Elena Giovanni. He could be our way into the organization. Pietro had leaned on him before and assured me he would fold easily. Now, I just had to find him.
And as you know, in any game I'm never one for story, except when we're playing as the either bad guy or the questionable guy, because I have fucking heard every good guy story and I don't want them anymore. No, sir. And it's always worth paying attention to the height that this game has, because often you'll find a little drain pipe for you to scurry up, or a little ledge that you can blink up to. Cauldron of Blood, to perform a powerful but noisy attack. So this one gets given to us, we don't need to unlock it. Again, this one's a ranged attack. I very rarely use the blink, and I very rarely use the shadow thing. I try not to. We're able to attack, though, from a distance, and if memory serves, this one allows us to...
I'm locked and loaded.
Oh, hang on. Wrong button. We'll try it on somebody else. Is it on that side? Yeah, we'll do it, we'll do it. I'll find somebody else. You can just throw yourself into the river, if you so desire. Music, very underrated on this game. Absolutely fantastic and very mood setting as well. Is it that one? Again, I very rarely use these powers.
Hey!
Well, there goes our unspotted. So at this point, I'd probably start again. But I'm trying to use powers, and I often don't. Because you don't need to. You're very maneuverable already, and very powerful already. I think that's the one that allows you to drain a victim from distance, but, you know, we're a vampire, let's just close the distance, eh? Top tip for those of you who don't like to have to engage completely with the climbing section. Well, as long as you are holding onto the thing with your left hand, you can flit out of a lot of the climbing sections. So it's almost like you've got an inbuilt... oh, that one's a feisty one, fucking hell. It's almost like you've got an inbuilt skip climb thing. Isn't there a secret around here? See, this is all I'm going to be doing now. Isn't there a secret around here? Tried to document them all once and missed some and... Ooh.
What is that? Quiet. Come on now, you can't stay hidden forever. You have to come out sometime.
Anyway, and him will have to wait. Or... So, this is another one that I rarely engage with. We can place a shadow trap that drags thugs into oblivion. Select it in the wheel. Press and hold A to aim and then release to place it. Sounds great. Ready. Oh, we can't use it until there's... No, we should be able to place it here. Ah, there we go. Might have lost the opportunity there. Okay, well, whilst I stalk the streets of Venice, you guys can see about winning that second key. So, if you would like to be in with a chance of... If you'd like to be in with a chance to win a copy of this fantastic game, it must be said, vampires in the chat, any kind you like. I don't think you're going to walk into that, are you? I need something to throw. Let's go back and have a look a second. Any rats? Ah, well. Easy enough. We'll just make sure we don't take any damage. Oh, I'm on the wrong one, that's why.
Again for a while. That Fondaka was a scary place. Anna is weak. Don't get on her bad side.
So, I drained my blood by using that ability, which is very silly.
Maybe it's these masks. Just looking at you makes me shiver. I feel it too. Chills down my shift sober.
If you hit them with these as well, it does stun them. It's not easy to do. But if you hit them, I think you actually specifically have to hit them in the head. Again, I usually use the bricks for distractions. We do need to feed here, really, don't we? That guy's really pissed off that he got hit in the leg by a brick. It was just fallen masonry, mate. I don't know what you're worried about. I think we are going past here.
Nothing here.
Gonna require a snack. That's going to be difficult to grab him if he's contextually leaning on something. Interestingly, because again, I don't spend a lot of time on low health, but it looks like it puts their heartbeats on automatically when you're on low health. So if you're doing bad, you, I mean, surely I can have just a little nibble. Just a little nibble. Yummy. Simple. That also takes blood as well. So a lot of things that I'm doing to show off this game tonight, I don't do them anymore. But again, that's the way that I like to play it. I like to, as I said, the one thing other than like some kind of roguelike mode, give me reason to play this and have it so that it's random and that, like, I don't know, maybe my vampiric abilities increase as the game gets, you know, as you go through the cycles or as the game gets harder. I'll get rid of this in a minute. Well, I already got rid of it, but... So, one of the things I will say about the game is the climbing is done very well. This element, this stalking the streets, again, it's all done very well. Staying up on high is always preferable to not, obviously. That was that whole moving whilst trying to grab something. It's not ideal. Yum. And there's, as I said, there's something very... You don't have to throw them. You can literally just put them to the floor. The one... So, it would be remiss of me to not talk about any of the problems with this game. And the only thing that I can think of, the only thing that comes to mind... The only thing that comes to mind is occasionally, when you grab an enemy and bite them, you go to push them away and it doesn't let go, which is why you'll see me do quite a violent shove more often than not to make sure, because otherwise you'll just stay there gripping hold of them and then you don't get the bonuses for, you know, getting your blood back and stuff. It's been in since the start of the game. I don't even think I bothered reporting it because it doesn't happen enough for you to have to worry about it. I mean, we could eat the rat, but I'm not going to. Now we've got some options here as well. We can stalk through the streets. We've got if I remember rightly, we've got a section coming up. There you go. So I didn't even have to say anything. Got a section coming up where there are snipers about, as well as enemy. We can fight our way through there and go cover to cover if we wanted to, or we can find another way. I think there's a secret up here as well. I better go back and check. I knew there was something here. So that's another one of the medallions. There are 45 of those to find. The vast majority are reasonably well placed Some are obnoxiously placed. If you get the chance to play this game and go through it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Some of them are like, I definitely checked there. I've already checked there. So if I poke my head out, that sniper will potentially get a bead on me. So I want to go from cover to cover.
I'll look over here. You cover the other side.
And we could do all of this along the ground if we so desire. But oh. That's because I stuck my hand out. Shit. Shot my hand off. The hand bone connected to the head bone. So, yeah, it's not looking like we're going to be getting any of those optionals. Not this time round. Oh, actually, no, that's another con. That's another con. Well, we've got to have a little bit of faff, haven't we? It wouldn't be one of my streams if we didn't. I think I've been very vampiric and professional up until that point, so, you know, got to add a little bit of that intentional death. So, one of the other things that I will say about this one as well is, depending on how you're playing it, you may be dying quite a bit to begin with. And unfortunately, the loading times on this one are quite long. I mean, I don't know. I find them quite long for other games that I've played. So, but you know, if the occasional bug in when you bite them and slightly longer loading times than they should be are the only things that I can think of. And as I said, I've played this reasonably. Yeah, I agree, actually, Ravens. You're powerful enough. You don't need guns. Oh, that might have been the problem. When we passed there, the sniper got a bead on us, and he was waiting. So we need to wait for that laser to go. Climb over the top, though, as well. The game's not shy about letting you traverse, either. I think this is just a timing one. I don't think it's going to go past us. Oh, yes, it is. Go. Wasn't as clean as I would have liked. Hello. Meals on wheels. I mean, there is another element of it too, as well, is I've always refused to eat rats because there's so many hobos about. So many hobos. Can we get up there? Yeah, the one thing, although you can chuck yourself up vertically, you can't throw yourself very far, which is a bit unfortunate. It does allow you to be able to get up to some places that you shouldn't, but it's not like Ancient Dungeon, where you, or like most of the Minecraft-like games, where you can hold onto something and then really throw yourself across. And that's probably a good restriction, because I think you'd really be able to cheese this game. So, yeah, but, you know, we don't eat rats, do we? So there you go.
What are you doing here?
Good evening. Right,
You don't look
end
like
it there,
you're
chat.
from around here.
And if you can pick us a winner, that would be great. So this is another one of those places where we have a choice. If I had have taken that perk earlier, I may have had an extra choice of to intimidate. and then, if I remember rightly, intimidating this guy on this level, he opens a door for us, and there's a secret there for us to get. The thing is, you're probably best off going and making those choices when you've got every level of intimidate, because there's multiple levels. For now, we'll just be a dick.
What's it to you? You have something I want.
If you want it, you are going to have to pay for it.
I really don't have time for this.
Well done, Mr.
Tell me what you
Vega.
have, and then we'll talk about compensation.
It's a phone. Anna and Rosa are talking, and... Oh, shit! You're one of them! Get away from... Oh, fuck this! I'm out of here!
Ain't got time for snacks. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, where was it next? Oh, I can't remember. I'm supposed to be up there. Congratulations, Mr. Vega. We've got to be quick here, otherwise we're going to lose him. It's one of the couple of chase. Ah, I forgot you have to go up there. Again, it's been a while since I go back to these levels, but there is reason to go back to them. I'm just kind of, I don't know. I'm just trying to play the game a little bit, but there are reasons to go back to them. The things that I will say is some of these bonus challenges are incredibly hard. Going through a game, not getting seen, and what is it? There's one not getting seen. Levels where it's don't get seen, don't kill anybody. Are very, very hard. One of the advantages that you do have, though, is you don't have to do them both at the same time. Right, we'll just kill people, I think. We've got enough blood. It's going to smash our blood quite quickly, though. Never mind. But yeah, so you could run through the level and just do it where you don't get seen, and then you could run through the level again and do it so you don't get caught. Or don't get seen, and then don't kill as well. Come back here, Lorenzo. I'm hungry. Aha.
Please, don't me. Why are you doing this?
You have something I need, and then you ran.
It's a phone. I tapped into Rosa's line and got them talking about stuff they shouldn't. It's right there. Just take it, my friend. I don't want anything to do with your kind.
My kind?
Look, my friend, I haven't seen anything, okay? I'm blind. Not gonna say a word to anyone.
Hello, Ray. Sorry, dude, you just missed it. So we've got one last key left though, Ray. There's the intimidation option that we would get from putting the XP in the right place at the start. It could potentially, if you went the other way and went for the intimidate option at the beginning, you might be able to get something extra out of this guy. All it's really going to do is stop you having to go back and do this level at a later date, potentially, if you got all the bonus objectives.
If you do, you won't live long.
Just take the
More
phone.
often than not, you'll find yourself
Take it.
going back
Take it and
anyway.
leave. I'm getting out of town.
Yeah? What do you want? I'm just calling to see how you feel today, sister. That was quite a beating you took. Next time it's gonna be your turn. You know how she is. Or maybe she just likes me more. Fuck.
Hey, I'm not going to do anything to you. I don't think I can.
I know.
No.
We should do something about it. We really fucking should. So, what do you propose? I don't know. Knock her over the head and tie her up somewhere so she gets a real good look at the sunrise.
No, I'm over here.
That would be glorious.
If only there was a light switch that I could turn on and off.
Something about
I could freak you the fuck out, couldn't I?
Maybe we should talk to Tommaso. He could set her straight.
Can't kill
If he
you.
wanted to. We should probably not talk about this over the phone.
Ooh, actually, that's a point. Some of the cutscenes aren't skippable. they do a bit of a strange combination in this one. Some of the cutscenes are ones that you can kind of interact with. Others are kind of like cutscenes from flat screen games put into it. And they don't really fit, but those ones are fairly few and far between. It's usually that desk bit. So, but even then, you're a standing character. So, right. So we can go directly to the Inner Sanctum, so we can spend our XP on an upgrade, and then we can leave that to go to Piedro's hideout, which is what we'll do. So let's see what we have. Unseen Passage, or we can go for the Intimidate skill, which we don't need that. And as you can see, there's multiple levels of it. So it's things like this. Yeah, they're unlockables, but I don't think we have to... Oh, we can get the second blink. And you can blink across multiple enemies when you get that up. Again, I don't use the blink for killing a lot. I like dropping down behind people and biting them, strangely enough. But this is what I mean by the upgrade side of things. Those three are all tied to additional dialogue. So they're like out already. They're not going to change anything about the game. I like upgrades that have weight and that have meaning. Most of them just power up the abilities that you have. Some of them give you new things like the ability to kill multiple enemies with your blink, but we'll just take Unseen Passage. This is the one that if I was going to use a little bit, I would, if I needed to cheese a bit. But then this is basically, as long as you stay on top of your blood, you have the ability to disappear from sight. That's what Obfuscate is. And there's various levels of that become better and better. So again, you have all the tools to be that OP vampire if you want to be, that can disappear from sight, kill on the click of a finger, and move stupidly fast. Or you can just play it as a little stealth game where you go around biting people. Or, if it all fails, punching people. So yeah, and you'll have to try this one out, Vega. I know you struggle sometimes on the old VR legs, but this one should be quite good for you on the vignette side of things. As I said, there's lots of different options, and you can change it how you want to. So there are things that you can't climb, but for the most part, there's a fair old amount. Who do we need to speak to next? I know it's Pietro, but where is he? Is he over here? Nope, he's up there.
You've brought the phone, I see. Let's make sure we don't waste any time.
They sure don't like their boss. What should we do with this information?
We could just share it, but where's the fun in that? Better to make sure it is found when we get the most bang for the proverbial buck.
And how do you propose we do that?
Rosa has her headquarters in an old bar. You should hide the phone in her office, somewhere no one will find it until we want them to.
And then we wait.
Yes. And then we wait. While you were out and about, I picked up a thing I think you will enjoy. You can find it over there.
Oh, I can't flip that one into my hand. Oh, I'll have to pick that up. So now the game changes a little bit. This is another element that you can engage with if you want to. I kind of only really use this for the collectibles. But again, you can play this just going around and flitting and biting people and clambering the rooftops. But there is a crossbow. You can load this with various bolts. Those bolts can have effects upon the lines of putting a person to sleep and improving the quality of their blood so that you get more life when you bite them. So that's a way to play. You can just straight up kill people as well. And then there's, I think the acid arrow just damages them as well. Open the bolt selection menu with a Y. And then we pick what we want. So we're going to go for the corrosive Vita. And then you use your blood to create the arrows. So again, I mean, there's argument that because I don't like to engage with everything that this game that you can do, just because I want to play it that way. You play it how you want to. You could very easily have the OP vampire experience out of this, or you can have the full-on stealth, or somewhere in between, whatever your level of play is. But you do need blood to be able to create these, and the more powerful ones need more blood, which then means you need to feed more regularly, and you need to keep these stocked up as well. Place one, pull the handle, and then you can't turn this off. I've tried. To be honest with you, because your ammunition is limited, you do kind of need this aimer. But it's reasonably intuitive. Because we have these corrosive vita arrows now, or bolts, we are now able to start collecting collectibles. There are also other things that we can do with these, which will allow us to go through areas. Don't know how many more of these there are. You used to be able to have one loaded and then make a third, but I think they got rid of that ability. And you pull it back to load, and then you can drop it back forward to do so. The grabbing handle is on the correct button. It is on grab, if you ask me, and then fire is on trigger. Simple as that. So we now have another tool to add to our growing arsenal of OP-edness. Crossbow of vampire, for Christ's sakes. Vampire hunter. Although I did actually apply for, can't remember what the game's called, but the one where you slope around various vampire coffins, taking them out quietly. I applied for a key for that because I thought, well, that'd be the perfect counterpoint. I'll go and play as the good guy and take out the vampires. If I must. Again, I do want to play that game though and see if it actually got any length. Are you alright there? Are you talking to the plant again? Yeah, he is. So he's I think there's 7 kinds of vampires within the World of Darkness lore and caste system. He is Nosferatu, so they are very much your classic vampire. They're not always as disfigured. He's got a good reason to be, though. Bless him. Bless old Pedro. Right. Well, actually, no, don't bless him. That'll probably get him. Silent Slayer, that's the one. Nice one, Von. Right, we are off next. Another thing as well is a lot of the objectives and where you need to go next are labelled reasonably clearly. I think there's only been one occasion in this game where it's like, oh fuck, what am I supposed to do next? Where am I supposed to go? And a lot of the time, that's because I forgot that you can hold this button and do that because I never engage with it. Again, there's a lot of features that I don't play in this game properly, and I have a lot of fun with it. So, again, play it how you like. Play it how you want. I'd love to see Indy on this, because, you know, his version of stealth and my version of stealth are very different. I'm sure he would love flitting the streets of Venice, stealthily killing everybody. It's a stealth massacre. So yeah, the loading screens. I mean, yeah. For what the game is, though, because, I don't know, it must be pretty complex. I'll forgive it. This is also one of the things that I will say, because I do like to kind of qualify it, is this is another one of those games where if I paid full price with the level of content that I know that is in this game, I would be happy with that purchase. There isn't going to be any additions to this. Nothing is going to be added. There's a decent amount of replayability, but once you've completed the story
during my time in New York
and collected everything, that's about it. You can't just go stalk.
In a moldy cell below ground, slowly going insane. He talked about the family his captors had killed, their lives taken for no reason but to torment him. I'm not a nostalgic person, but his tale stirred something deep inside me. He yearned for justice. I was actually happy that I could help.
So you can just go off and stalk the streets of Venice, just taking out the NPCs and the bad guys and the civvies that are just lying around. Hello Beavis, how we doing? So this is kind of that Metroidvania-esque element, but then now that we've got this, ooh, getting a bit peckish making all these arrows. Thing is, I always make sure I have a full complement of arrows just in case it goes to shit. Good evening. So you can do it two-handed on the shoulders, one-handed on the side. You can just grab a shoulder. You can go in for that bite however you like. However, I do find that grabbing with both hands means that you can manipulate the model more. Grabbing with one, you need to be quite close, but it can be done. Don't know if that's important to anybody, but it was reasonably important to me that I could feed the way that I wanted to within the game. There is also another strange thing that I find myself doing, and I hope you guys do too, is that when I lunge in for the bite, I open my mouth. So, yeah. But that's roleplay for you. That's LARPing. So don't get spotted. Don't kill any mortal, because there are other enemies. Hey.
The plan was
Vampire's gonna vampire.
An incriminating message somewhere inside Rose's rundown old bar. The trouble was, Pietro had no absolute location. Something was making him forget. His head had been tampered with, but I was beginning to suspect there was more to it. Mortal Venetians shunned some.
Actually, yeah, I thought. Oh yeah, it's because you don't actually have your hands.
I could feel an oppressive force in the air, like it was cursed. It made ordinary people turn away and left the Hecata to do their business undisturbed.
So this is us looking at us, and I suppose that's why it feels a little bit outside of the norm for how this game works. But then they've got to do something for the kind of internal monologue that your character does. So, I mean, it can be repetitive as far as the stalking the streets and doing the various bits and pieces. There's some decent puzzles in this later on as well. The thing is, you can change it up how you want to as well. Do we need to feed? I don't know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we do. But I'm not supposed to be killing anybody. What are you looking in the trash? So if we were going to go for the full stealth approach, he's having a fag, happy days, we would go over here. We could kill our way through the streets, either like an idiot punching everyone out and biting who we can and flitting into the others, and making use of our arrows now as a distraction, or we can find another path. This isn't there's always an A to B in the levels, and then there's kind of like a C route and a D route occasionally. So, but there's always other ways to do things other than out and out violence. Although, you know, out and out violence is always cool. Can't get onto those ones. If it goes red, obviously we can't bounce there, and you can't go on a lot of these. You can't actually go up onto the rooftops. It's got to limit you a little, I guess. But for the most part, we can stealth our way through a level. And again, I like that, you know, it may not have the dialogue, it may not have that superior dialogue choice, it may not have a lot of those options, but what it does have is choice in how you play it. This one was one that used to get me, it still might, but what you have to do is run off the edge and then hold that blink button after you leave the ledge, and you'll get that couple of seconds of slow time that you can use to flit. And then we'll wait for that guy to patrol. Actually, hang on, let's do this first. So, let's get that out of the way.
This isn't right. Yeah, I'm keeping the safety. I think they're over here.
No sighting yet.
So, did you get a look at them?
Oh, I'm sure I saw something.
You get up to that one. No, you can't. Never mind.
Quiet here now. But that can change. What the hell?
That's where it can go wrong sometimes as well. Hello, K2. Yeah, no worries, dude. You're just in time, hopefully, for... We'll be doing the last giveaway soon. So, security cameras are now a problem. Again, you can make the game easy for yourself by just taking them out. In some levels, you can't. It'll say, like, do not destroy, I think. Do not destroy any cameras or various challenges like that. But in this one, it's different challenges. I think we have to get close enough, though, to do it. Or is it a different kind of bolt? Might be a different kind of bolt. There's always another way. The one thing that I would have liked from this, because we're a vampire, is the ability to have some sort of... that heightened senses would have given us a little bit of night vision. That would have been nice. But, yeah, not the case. Maybe it won't let me kill it because I haven't interacted. We're still technically in the tutorial. Security cameras can alert enemies about your presence. Use heightened senses to observe the camera's view cone to your advantage. Again, you can do that if you want to. Or you can just look at it and go, oh, yeah, that's the time that I need to move. No, there isn't a vision. I think it was Raven asked me, like, you know, what would I add to this game? There's a couple of little bits and pieces, but nothing game-breaking. It's another one of those games where I'm like, more. I want more, basically. I don't think there's anything missing from the game. Night vision would be nice. It's not needed. I was thinking more along the lines of it'd be nice to be able to activate your heightened senses and get a slight night vision.
These nights, I find it hard.
Oh, no worries, Kim. It'd be nice to get a slight night vision
It would be so easy
when you activate your senses, but yeah.
The one
I was thinking more of that for you lot, so that you can see what's going on when it's
to
dark.
get revenge on whoever did this to me and my family. The list of suspects is long, but I have narrowed it down to a branch of the local Ekata. Members of the Giovanni family. I was
You also have... I wish that... I can actually think of another thing.
The Banu Hakim called Justice.
Quiet here now.
They will be arriving in Venice soon. He told me our paths must cross. We have, he says, a common enemy.
Yum. Tasty. Been watching a bit of Demon Slayer with my daughter. Very... I'm sure Hellsweeper was inspired by Demon Slayer a lot. And with that katana out, yeah, that should be quite good. Can I get up there? Yes, I can.
What is that?
Oh, it's nothing. No, it's very good. Again, I'm not one for wanting to engage in story with a lot of games, but when we are of a questionable nature, then I want to hear all about it. And it's a world that I have interest in. I can't smoke though. If we can find the apartment key, we can get through that. I can't remember if that's tied to the level or the secret. It's been a while since I've played a lot of these earlier levels. Can't eat seagulls either. And as a man who comes from Cornwall, Newquay, I'd love to be able to absolutely destroy seagulls in this game, but unfortunately, seagulls, the sky rats of the world, are too much for this one. Oh, well, there's the apartment key that we needed. Oh, someone was having a very moody evening this evening. But yeah, there's like little places like this where it's maybe a little bit too dark, and being able to get your like a slightly lighter vision from that would be nice. Yeah, no sky rats, just normal rats, unfortunately. See if we can nail a hobo.
What the hell was that?
Nope. Second try. Shit. Tell you what, things fall from the rooftops in Venice all the time when I'm here anyway.
That can't be right. What the hell just happened?
Well, good evening, ladies. That was a good example of it not letting go when I wanted it to. So, but again, you know, it doesn't happen often, and it usually happens when you grab at an awkward angle, because you can grab at a lot of angles. I've tried. No groin biting, but you know, can but hope in a up and coming DLC.
Didn't you hear what I said? I told
You're,
you to leave. All the gates are locked.
So this is another one of those situations where if we had the intimidate skill, she would give us a way through or in. Sometimes the Oh.
Now, open the door so I can get to Rose's bar, and I'll get out of your hair.
What did you just say to me? There's a private party at the bar. You're not invited, asshole. There's no way you're getting through here. Get out of my sight.
One of the things I did forget as well is the intimidate ability. So when you've like completed the game and unlocked the entire skill tree, the intimidate ability not only unlocks some doors that give you various secrets, there's one or two, if memory serves, which gives you an alternate path as well. So that's where your route C and your route D. No, because I don't bother with the intimidate skill to begin with. I've always looked, what I was thinking, Beavis, is I'll try and play it from new player perspective, because there might be people that are watching this that are struggling with it, and so of the two skills, the better skill to go for when you start is the one that means that you get more blood from rats, because then you can use your abilities more often, whereas the intimidate I think is a end game skill if you are new to the game or not very good at it or what have you. But yeah. Okay, thank you, Vaughn. The apartment's over there though, isn't it? It's a nice level of maneuverability we have also. Good evening. Why is nobody ever in when I come a-calling? That was the other thing I was going to mention as well, just before we do the giveaway, is I would have liked the ability, because you can do it with things like this Like, you can... It's nice to be able to duck in VR games, or at least have a button to duck, but what I prefer is being able to contextually grab onto something and push yourself down so that you can feel like you're actually doing the ducking motion within VR, and you can bend your knees a bit, and that will do the job. And that works well for doing that. I wish you could do that round corners as well. That would be nice. You can do it around some, but the vast majority are not contextualized for doing that. I can see why they would do something like that, though, because if everything can be grabbable, you might just be walking through a door and then all of a sudden grab something and you can't move. Been frozen in place. Right then, so we have one last key to give away. If you would like to be in with a chance of winning one, please enter the vampire emoji in the chat, whilst I look for a safe way down or across. So we could go down there, murder her, go through the streets, or we can take it easy. And so it's one of those games where
Something's been here.
stealth is rewarded. We're not supposed to kill any mortals, are we? Did get spotted there, unfortunately. Yeah, this part is a nightmare to do in stealth mode. Can we destroy those yet? No, we can't. You do get the ability to destroy them later. Can't remember what with, though. It escapes me.
I'll take a look over it.
You'll take a look over nowhere, buddy. Oh, camera. Shit. I was dicking about and got seen by the camera. Leave me alone. Usually a little hiding and getting up high is enough to lose the attention. This area is particularly difficult, actually. There's a lot of enemies about. We could have gone up higher if we wanted to. Maybe we should have. Like, that level you can't get up to. Yeah, it was probably me chatting away. What we were supposed to do, we were supposed to follow that cable. So again, if I didn't know that it was that cable, and so that means the thing's over there, I can use my vampiric senses to find out where I am supposed to be going. It is still contextual, though. You still need to point at the thing. So again, so you can have the game handy hold you and help you as much or as little as you like, because, well, let's face it, we're not all amazing at VR games. This stealth in VR is not my speciality. I used to be more of an archer. This doesn't count.
Okay, everyone. Weapons ready. They're nearby. Be on your guard. They're not
Should be
here,
enough.
but they're
Think she's going to disappear in time. Well, she might have. What are they doing? I haven't seen this before. It's one of those ancient mating rituals where the female circles the male. If memory serves, there's one up here. It often doesn't. Yes, there you are. You gonna look at the wall? No, you're not. Shit. Oh, I'll have some blood off you then. So again, we can go through this section, kill everything stealthily, try not to get killed, and then complete the objective. Or if you were really clever, messy eater. Indeed. What is she doing? I haven't mentioned the AI in this. The AI is actually pretty good and does track you. However, as I said, now it's the male circling the female that seems to be the case. But that's good, because if they're close together, they can go and investigate together, can't they? Lovely stuff. Ah, there's another one. You gonna go and patrol? Good. Damn. Suppose that's the only problem as well with when you are trying to bite somebody, and sometimes it rejects it prematurely, and it's usually when you move. No, the holding motion and biting down on them is all part and parcel of it, so you can only feed one at a time. As I said, later on you get the ability, the flit ability, where we can just target somebody and insta kill them. It does take blood off of you, but later on we get the ability where we can do multiple of those, so you can like cut through multiple people. And again, it's just, you get to that point where you're so overpowered that if you need to use the things, you can use the things. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. And there's usually a lot of nice little alternate routes. Some of them are indeed alternate routes with secrets. Others are just little bits of story. Don't think there's anything in this one. Is it just that note? And I don't think we can store that, can we? No. There's usually a reason. So I'm not making a point of going after everything at the moment. I've already done that. The other unfortunately as well is there's no cool unlocks for 100% in the game. You know, at least in I Am Cat you get golden claws for finding all the collectibles. We don't get anything. No golden fangs. No alternative skins. It would have been nice to get something for 100% in the game. So if you are looking at 100%ing this for anything other than the satisfaction of doing it again, and you know, if you've got things to complete like that, it's the actual playing through as opposed to, it's for the actual playing through as opposed to the unlocks with a game like that, I feel. So again, we can go through there and get to the bar that way, or if memory serves, where is it? There. It's one of those doors without a handle. Thank you, Vaughn. Oh, in that case then, end the giveaway there, and I'll change battery. Pick us a winner, Vaughn. Our last one of the evening. I believe that's all 3 keys given away now. So, I'm hoping, now that I've got a little bit of a dialogue going with FTG, they've got a lot of games in their list, and so I might be able to get a little work from them and some more keys for various other things. For those of you who are obviously still with us, because there'll be a few of you who will clear off once the keys are gone, but we do have another giveaway happening on Saturday, and that is for one of the channel regulars, K2, one of her favourite games called Ghost Signal, a Stellaris adventure. She loves a little bit of Ghost Signal, she really does. So, never played it, obviously, just watched me play it. So, Ghost Signal is another one of those absolute hidden gems of a games. Well done, Scatman. Congratulations.
I'm sorry, I just came in there to...
She does love watching that, doesn't she? So that would be the other way that we could have come up if we wanted to fought our way through. And so it's something that I do really like about this game. It's just that choice. But yeah, well done, Scatman.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
How about you lay off your drinking?
I've never tried grabbing around the hips before. That's a good job that happened, wasn't it? Grabbed him on the hips. A little bit of a dance. Make a little noise. Get bit tonight. What was it? Hang on there. There was... Oh, that was it. We're supposed to plant the cell phone, aren't we? Can I not leave that way? Of course I can. And again, you can fight your way out of there if you want to, or aggressively kill everybody on the way out if you want to, or you can just, you know, do your mission and leave. Ah, crap. Oh, are we done in there now? Oh, we might have been able to just go this way, you know. Yeah. Oh, wait, whoa, he was looking. Give that man a raise. How unfortunate. So I think... Again, I've never really checked. I think the health system is just a recharge one. So if you take damage... Oh, is he maybe permanently? If you take damage and then retreat, you heal automatically. But yeah, congratulations to all the winners. Ah, shit. I got seen whilst feeding. I'm gonna hide in the toilet. I think he's alerted permanently because he knows that we're here. Maybe. Yeah, yummy. Concussed snack that one was. And now we shall go. Lovely. I'm doing very well at these bonus objectives. Again, to be honest with you, I think the first time that I played through, when I got the ability to, I did go back. But again, it wouldn't be a very good stream if I just kept on starting and restarting and starting and restarting. My memory fails me at the best of times, so I can't even remember half of these missions. I like playing it again, so... But these earlier ones, anyway. I completed some of the later ones a little bit more recently. And there's some very cool missions in this game as well, as you play. But yeah, so we've got... Ghost Signal Stellaris happening on Saturday, and then I have some keys for Neon Squad to give away as well, which I may see us doing as early as the following week. No. Ghost in the Machine. Whilst using unseen passage, technological surveillance takes longer to spot you. We don't really need that. We might as well save up for either of these. Have we got the next? Ah, okay. We've got Oblivious Sleep. So this one's quite cool. So Oblivious Sleep on its first level, it increases the potency of the blood that you're then going to feast on whilst knocking out the person. So again, makes things a little bit easier for you. And then I think it's this one that when you get it to a higher level, when you do it, it creates like an orb of invisibility around the person so that you can then shoot them from afar, go in and feed, even if you are surrounded, and then get out. Again, you can become very overpowered in this game, and you can play it that way if you want to. You don't have to engage with those things. I like a good stealth game, even though I'm not particularly amazing at them. But again, it's about kind of learning the routes, learning the maps, learning the layouts. I prefer it when you're going in blind like I am tonight, but that doesn't make very, very good or stealthy approach. But I can tell you for certain that it can be done. A lot of those bonus objectives, I completed both at the same time. What I think, if I remember rightly, on my first playthrough of this, I ended up just going front to back because I was getting drawn in with the collectibles and the story and just playing new levels and seeing things ramp up. And then at the end, I went back and collected the things and found just how overpowered that makes you for some of the harder levels. So... Oh, I can get down there, surely. Take a brick for Pedro. Hey, Pedro, think fast!
Are you ready to feel your part of the bargain? Are you ready
Distracted by all the shiny things. To be fair, if memory serves at the time, I had a mind to do tips and tricks on this, but I just never got round to it.
Here, aren't I?
I can't remember what would have been out at the same time.
Kept me locked up for 15 years in a
Beginning
hole
of this year.
Every day, they would throw me around.
Might have been dungeons, you know. No, they're a year old.
They would then, using some dark voodoo, put me to sleep and almost
Can't remember.
empty me of blood. Every single day for 15 fucking years. With all of this blood of mine, they could now easily wield my disciplines. They stole a part of me, and I will never forgive them.
You never saw who did it.
No.
So, you need someone less weak than you to help you out.
I need your help to find the place they kept me locked up. You promised
Yeah, you do.
me a favor. This is it. Find me the place they kept me locked up.
Alright, fucking hell. Mind your manners. Again, like, you know, I'm always going to go for the aggressive and dick option within games. And I'm always going to kill NPCs if that's an option. And you know what? I think the reason why I do it is because then A, I'm basically the bad guy, or at least the questionable guy. And also, I think a lot of people want to see it, but don't want to play that way. So, like, for instance, I played through Saints and Sinners, I don't think I was that much of a dick recently, but I do remember stabbing people when all they wanted was the tin of cat food that I had, that I think I subsequently threw away after driving a screwdriver through their eye. These are, as I said, it's questionable, my motives sometimes. I do like being the dick in games. I think it's because I'm such a nice guy in real life. I like being a dick in games. I'm sure there's a psychological term for that. Right. See if we can... Oh, no, hang on. That's the wrong way. Yeah, medium levels of dickishness. Was this actually a level, or were we just going? No, we're just going there. So now we've got, if we can find the sewer key, we can open these and we can get those objectives. If memory serves, I can't remember if you can find it with sense, but it's basically the sewer keys. We'll probably come across it by accident, but I think it's on a box down the corner or down the side of one of these little passages. It's not difficult to find it, but it's one of those ones that's like, oh, for fuck's sake, I swear I checked there kind of ones. I know it's one that some people struggle finding, so maybe I'll make a point of having a look for it later. So now we're going to go into the sewers. Just be grateful of the fact that I haven't grabbed anybody yet and gone, where are the drugs going? Because you could quite easily do that. Quite easily. Anyone who gets that reference, congratulations. Anyone thinking, that's not what Louis or Lestat say? You'd be quite right. There's not an Interview of the Vampire reference. This can actually be quite a dangerous game as well, especially if you're not going to eat rats. Using your blood to get all the collectibles and keep on making arrows. Thankfully, it doesn't cost you a lot, but it can make it so that when you get to the actual fight, you're drained to fuck, which I always thought was quite amusing. This is another one that we need the sewer key for. I should make a point of finding it, shouldn't I? It's definitely on this level. I'll check the corners. I'll have a look. Is it in here? I mean, that's where I'd put it, but I think this is just a note. These, I don't think are collectibles. They're just little bits of story. Can't remember. I don't think they go anywhere. You see, we can walk in water, but anything more than sort of like chest height, you die. So, let's have a quick look. I don't think we can go any further at this stage. So no, I think the sewer key's in the next section of the sewer, and then we can come back here with the sewer key to be able to do it. I also believe that all humans are just food. Some of them can be useful, though. But yeah, like Dark Souls, I always make a point of killing whatever NPC I can, and usually after I've got what I want from them. And it all spawns back to the days of my childhood when I was dropped on my head. No, it all transforms back to the days of a game that probably none of you will have ever heard of called Kingsfield, which was where FromSoft began. And Kingsfield was a arguably terrible version of like a first-person RPG.
Nothing of the network of tunnels under
I thought it was amazing at the time.
They used to be the home of a large group of Nosferatu.
You used to be able to kill NPCs in that, and it was great.
And hunted by fierce beasts. No wonder the clan of death had chosen to make use of what had always been below them. Finding the place where they kept Pietro imprisoned wouldn't be easy.
Maybe it is.
I would do what I had to uphold our bargain.
If they were all real people, I'd be nice. Honest. Don't think there's any secrets up here, is there? There you go. For you Assassin's Creed types, you could screech like an eagle at that point. That's because the shopkeeper in Ad is a particularly difficult fight, and I didn't want to die too early. Come back here, you stinking rat. Oh, he's gone. There is no map in this game as well. It's not particularly difficult in your poking around. This level is actually one big complete circle, and we actually exit here. But again, a lot of the time you can find your way by holding down the trigger button. I would like to play more extraction shooters, Beavis, but you know what I find the problem with extraction shooters is these days? Everybody goes on Discord to talk. They don't do what I do and talk in real life. And the reason why they don't do that is they don't know how to communicate and like have standard operating procedures within a group and so on. Me and Indy had hot mics all the time that we were playing Ghosts, and we got the drop on so many people and had one hell of a time. You guys have probably seen the clip of us having SKSs and bags and nothing else, and absolute destroying a team of 3. And some of that was to do with the old talkie talks from me. Go have a look at Indy's video. There's some good examples of what we used to do there. Playing possum. You know, if people can usually hear you, but they'll chat on Discord so that they don't give themselves away. I mean, Indy would call that cheating. I'd definitely call it an exploit. Thing is, it's the way of games these days, and I'm kind of like, you know, what's the point of having in-game chat in a game that nobody's going to use? If in-game chat is in the game, then the devs intended it to be used. And in games, multiplayer games especially, as I would like to think some of you would appreciate, any game where I can't communicate and use my voice, I feel like I've just stripped myself of about 50% of my armory, and so I don't like it. So, and yeah, Ghosts of Tabor has very much become a everybody just shoots on sight, everybody kills on sight. I know the reason why, because there's people that will act friendly and then betray, and that's fine. That's, well, yeah, maybe 80. That's fine. That's just how people want to play those sort of games. I don't know, I like to get a little bit more out of my meal than, you know, just a simple, oh, don't shoot, and then shoot the other person. You know, the betrayal's got to be, if you're going to betray, have some class, have some style. You kill them at the end when you are about to extract. You shoot them dead and then pick up all the stuff that they spent all that time collecting for you. Or, you know, you part ways with them friendly and then stalk them and then kill them at the end, if you feel the need. Depends on how desperate you are, I guess. But there you go. And yeah, I'm tempted to actually have a look at Astro Hunter, because the likes of Von, of all people, wants to have a look at Astro Hunter. I think Kim does as well. And so yeah, maybe I will. Oh no, you're quite right, you shouldn't trust anybody, but there's ways and means. There's ways and means of going about it. The thing is, I want to be a dick in those games. I do actually find it quite difficult when you get talking to somebody, but it depends. It depends. Although, having said that, if you ask anybody that's played... I can't remember if we streamed it, you guys might have even seen it. If you ask anybody that's played Among Us with me... well, let's say that everyone had a memorable experience at their expense, not mine. I got my most memorable one on that one is I think you guys might have watched it. Me and Beanie, you know that guy who used to play IDU? Me and Beanie were the imposters on Among Us, and I was chatting away to Beanie, as I do, because I don't use Discord, and I don't mind being heard. I will happily talk my way into and out of a situation, and then usually, as you can probably appreciate from me, back in, and then back out, and then back in, and then back out, because I can. And I was basically talking to Beanie, and like we were discussing a plan. And then we get to the room, and basically Shuey, Power on VR, was like, it was Rob, I know it's Rob, Silver Tongue Devil, everybody vote for him. I heard him, he was shouting to Beanie at what their plans were. And I was like, well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no, it wasn't that. It was, he was whispering his plans to Beanie. And so I basically calmly turned to the group and presented my argument, which was, well, he has to be lying. When have I ever whispered? He was so quick out of that airlock. Everyone was like, yeah, it's got to be Shuey then, because, you know... And of course I was very happy, and we won that round, and it was great. We had a lot of fun at everybody else's expense. That's just the memorable one. I was particularly happy about that. Oh yeah. Silent North will be a very good one. Oh, I can't remember what the bonus objectives were for this. I don't even know if there was any, actually. Let's have a look. Can you not check whilst you're in mission? Or maybe there wasn't. Maybe there wasn't. Right, I need a wet quick. Yeah, no worries, Super. Yeah, definitely. The only other thing that I would say about this one as well, just whilst I'm having a quick smoke and a drink, is that this game has been out for a year now. Although I think that this one is worth the price tag on it for the game and the experience that you get, if you like your vampires, if you like being the questionable neutral or bad guy or whatever, if you like your overpower fantasy, if you like your stealth games, there's a lot of ways to play this and a lot of bits and pieces, and it's all very well done. You should not buy this game at full price. It's been out for almost a year now. It's almost been a year now, so you shouldn't get this one at full price. In the days of doing referrals, you get 25% off of this. Well worth it. You should expect to be able to get 30 to 40% off of this, I would have said, in a sale. And then you're getting one hell of a game at a great price. As for did it do well? No, I don't think it did. This is another one of those games, like so many others, like Hellsweeper and Ghost Signal, and to a lesser extent as well, even Ancient Dungeon has been quite quiet. There's always, like, IDU is one of the ones. I mean, only IDU did alright, because otherwise, if it had done gangbusters, we would have had an IDU too. You've got to think that way. So I think it did well enough, but it didn't do... I don't know if IDU did amazingly or not. Who really knows? But I get the impression that games like this didn't do very well. There is already at least one other game from the World of Darkness series, which is Afterlife, which I did live stream. I haven't gone back to complete it yet because I kind of don't want to spoil the ending for myself, and I wanted to try and complete it with you lot on stream, but haven't found a reason to go back. I think there's so little left of that game now that it would be just something that I'll maybe do in an after party if I remember. So I'll be honest with you, I can't even remember if I re-downloaded it or even if I have my save. But Afterlife was it's Wraith. So you then play as a Wraith within the World of Darkness lure and such. And even that was a very well done and fantastic little game. I've turned myself around whilst I've been chatting. Standard operating procedure. How did I manage that, eh? How does he manage it?
If they show
be ready.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll be ready. Pump. Have you... Do you know where the pump room... Oh, shit. Not in there. I mean, even if you just want to come into this and bother rats, you know, that's another way that you could play the game as well. You can eat them too. Not on this channel. No, no. Yeah. So I think this game didn't do well enough. I don't think there's going to be any additional DLC. I don't think there's going to be anything on this one. A lot of games do have plans for those sort of things, but in my humble opinion, the best games are ones that are actually completed. They're actually finished when they release. I know, right? Shock. And then they do so well that they, you know, decide, oh, well, we could do some extra DLC. We could do some extra bits and pieces. I think IDU was actually that, if I'm honest. Hang on. I haven't got the pump key, though. Have I? No. Must be in there, then. And so, yeah, because it didn't do very well, they are not going to do anything in addition for it either. But then, again, as I said, like a lot of games, this one's finished, this one's done. They didn't, like, hold anything back. Because, be honest with you, oh, it's up there. Be honest with you, a lot of games that do have DLC, that usually comes in within the first month or 2 or 3, or maybe even 6 in some occasions, is just contact... Oh, crap. I'll go over the top. It's just content being held back from launch. They didn't do that with this, so... It's like Ghost Signal. Again, I know Kim will be... her ears will prick up and she'll be all very happy to hear about it. Ghost Signal is another one of those ones where that was a completed game. Didn't have as much variety as I would have wanted. Well, yeah, so I'll get to the modding side of things in a minute. As far as Ghost Signal is concerned, that is a complete and finished game. I get the impression that they might have had intentions to do the extra ships and then just added them in afterwards. I get the impression they were going to do it anyway because there was a lot of things within the game that pointed to that. Unless, of course, they brought the ships in, the extra ships in afterwards. But that game launched, you could only play as one ship, not the variety that we have now. And it was a complete game. It was a great experience. It was very well priced at $14.99 as well. Yeah, I don't know what the state of play is with... Right? I don't know what the state of play is still, Beavis, with the old modding tools, because I wonder how they're going to get around the copyright side of things. There's a lot that I want to do with All on Board, as it doesn't let me do my pass through anymore with this mode. That's unfortunate. But for those of you who have seen... For those of you who... Oh, I've lost my hands now as well. Crap, shouldn't have done that. Might have to wait a second here. No, I can still move, strangely. Didn't like that. There they are. They're back. There we go. As far as the modding support is concerned on All on Board, as I said, I'm a massive board games... arguably, you could call me a board game freak. So, or geek, or king of geeks. But I've got a lot of board games, and if the modding tools come in, there's a lot of games that I have board games wise that I would love to convert so that we can all play them on the channel. That would be fantastic. Might take me a lot of time, but I think it would be worth it. And it's I think that one's going to be difficult because there's going to be a lot of copyright thing. Anything that I created, of course I wouldn't sell because I'm copying somebody else, but then I'm costing other people money. What I'm hoping to do is to be able to do all the legwork and then approach these companies that actually own these board games and say, hey, I've done all the legwork, want to do a little royalty split with me and we'll see if we can sell some games all on board? Maybe it'll work that way. I don't fucking know. Still need this pump room key. I keep on talking and forgetting and turning back on myself. So as far as modding supporting games is concerned, I'll tell you the simple reason, and you probably know it already as well. The simple reason why modding support is not a good idea for a game that is either not finished or has DLC plans is someone else might do it before they can do it, and then it makes the developer look bad. Makes the developer look like they have stolen content from a creator or stolen somebody else's work when they may have had intention, or stolen the idea. You know, we've seen times when that's happened. Don't know if I'm going backwards here. Oh, hang on. Are you giving me a sympathy direction? This might be one of the ones where I have to use the right, well, let's just check, because we should have the sewer key. It'll be somewhere easy, probably. Well, is this one the sewer key? I can't remember. Can he remember? Fun with rats. I know there's enemies over that direction, if I remember. Oh, cool. Good, good. Yeah, that we definitely need. Oh, hang on. Let me just check. I assume that was all on board, but obviously it just tries to pronounce the word made up of the letters. Yeah. I've got big hopes for that game. I hope that's going to do a lot for VR. I plan on doing a lot with it. So, having played a lot of Aliens games recently, I am very keen to put the Aliens board game that I have. There it is. It's right on the... You could have mentioned that it was right there when you say something, man. Anyway, we got the key. So, I'm hoping to put a lot of games across. The first one that I'm going to do is Plague Incorporated, because on one side of things, I know it's an amazing game. I think you lot will love it. I'm going to love teaching you how to play it, and there's a lot of laughs to be had with that game, and it can be incredibly competitive. I know. I have a friend, and we were very incredibly competitive in that game. I always thought that one had to be played with at least 3 or 4 players to make it interesting. A duel on that game is very, very intriguing, depending on how you both play and what viruses you go for. But then there's another element of me as well. Plague Incorporated as a board game did very, very well. So if I'm going to put time into learning how to do it and doing it all properly, with the hope of approaching Plague Inc. and saying, hey, I've done the work, do you want to come and license this and we'll share some royalties? Then obviously I want to go for something that I think will be good and popular, and I think you'll all enjoy that. But then having said that, that's just for a little bit of sustainability. In my heart of hearts, there are a lot of games that I would love to convert. One of them being Chaos in the Old World, which I'm a massive Warhammer nerd, and in that you get to play as one of the 4, or if you have the expansion, 5, well, technically 4, and then the Horned Rat. One of the 4 Chaos Gods, or the Horned Rat, which is the Skaven's 13 council-seated member, or deity, as it were. So yeah, as I said, I got a lot of plans. So, but yeah, I've got Chaos in the Old World. There's the Aliens board game that looks absolutely fantastic, and is still sat in the cellophane on my board game shelf. This War of Mine, the board game, that's cooperative. This War of Mine, Ninja Pork, who some of us know, Chris, that was his, and I bought it off of him. I haven't played it yet. Story of my life with a lot of board games. He's played it a lot, and he basically said, This World of Mine is one of those games where if you're ever feeling a little bit too giddy, a little bit too happy with yourself, and you need taking down a few pegs, this War of Mine is the game to play. The board game, that is. To be fair, the same is true. This War of Mine, the video game, is an absolute nightmare. Which way round was it? So I need to do that one now, isn't it? This one, again, if you use the lines. Oh, got ya. Yeah, I found. I mean, it's funny. Yeah, hello, Buck. It's funny you say that about Terraforming Mars, because I played that and I found that one, even for me. You know, I'm no fucking big brain either, but I found that one quite a complex little bloody game. I really did. So, but I made the mistake of jumping straight into the deep end with that one. Little Easter egg here for any of you that want to see it. So you get that to its second stage. I think I've shown this off before on the channel previously. There's a collectible item here.
15 years ago, when I was captured,
and I think that's as far as you're supposed to go.
Kept me alive by
And then if you go round here,
every night, my unknown captor would restrain
Pedro.
me using dark disciplines and nigh on empty me of blood, using rusty old syringes. I never learned why.
You told
They
us all
never
of this, Pedro.
opened their filthy mouths to speak. When I finally escaped from the hole in the ground.
Stop it, character dialogue.
Family's house. They had all been slaughtered years ago. Not a single one of them had been spared. I read about it in old newspapers. The details were horrific, even for me. I am sure it was my unknown captor who did it.
Hang on. What did Scatman just say? A few of Chris's games as well. Scat, do I know you? I guess this is going to be some big reveal. So, maybe it's Ninja Pork's alt who's been buying his own board games. I've played this one quite extensively, Buck. This game's fantastic. And if you climb up here, there's no secrets or additional extras or any bits and pieces. But if you look through here, there's a little TV. And there's a little rat sat on there watching the television. I can't shoot him as much as I would love to, because he's invincible. But there you go. So nice little Easter egg. Dun dun dun, indeed. And there was me thinking it was just me who wasted the money on Chris's board games. It can only be... Scatman. I would have said... It's Mark, isn't it? Of course it's Mark. Ha ha! Oh, well, at least you got a game out of me, whoever you are. Yeah, good stuff. There you go. And so... Oh... Well, I've had my one guess, so... And the thing is, there is... This kind of game, there is no indication as whether you would actually say yes it is or no it isn't. Oh, I've done it the wrong way around, fucking idiot. Hang on. No, no. Ah, fuck. Or am I supposed to do it this way? Supposed to go down there. No, I think this had a Quest 3 update. I can't remember. Supposed to go through there first. It is all very well lit, and you can see where all the wiring's going, so fucking idiot. I was too busy showing off the fucking rat and the TV, and I thought that was my mission objective for a minute. Interestingly as well, if you pick up 2 rats, you can't feast on them at the same time, but you can make them have a little rat fight. Oh, that one's winning. Oh, he's winning. Oh, yep. Oh. See, this is what you do with rats if you're actually a vampire. Nobody wins! Yay. Anyway. Bloody vermin. Right. This one. Now, this one is timed, if memory serves. Yes, but thankfully, because we are quite maneuverable, we can do this reasonably quickly. Oh, almost forgot. Should have shot that before. Should have shot that before I engaged the old wheel, but you know, memory. Oh shit. Oh crap. You're supposed to go underneath. I always like going over top when it says go underneath. Woo! No danger. Ha. And like average player would think like gotta run, but you don't. It stops here. That's why you missed that one. Ooh. Is there an item in here? I think there might be a health urn down here potentially. Nope, it's a medallion.
So why join the Camarilla, I hear you say? There were several reasons. The Camarilla's conflicts with the Inquisition put them in a spot where they really needed a strong arm to enforce the law. We were there. We maneuvered the political landscape well. Definitely better than our detractors. The Camarilla welcomed us.
Hey, Doc. Yeah, that is, again, yeah, $29.99. What's that work out for me? 22 quid? I would have said, as I said previously, I think this is one of those few games where it is worth it. It was definitely worth it at 25% off. The thing with this game, though, is it's almost been out a year. You shouldn't be paying full price for games that have been out for almost a year. So this is one to keep an eye on for when it goes on sale. For when it gets like a bundle deal with that Afterlife game that's also in the World of Darkness. That would be a smart move. So I would be, I think I might have paid somewhere in the region of, because I think it used to be cheaper, maybe. What's it, $22.99 minus 15? I think I might have paid like 15, 16 quid for this. And again, with me, it will have always been like various credits and bits and bobs as well. So pretty sure I didn't pay full price. Wasn't there a bonus for pre-ordering this one as well? It was like 10% off and you got a thing. Kind of like the game enough that I wish I'd have got the thing. But I don't like bowing to that kind of FOMO. Key in here? No. Oh, do we already have the key? No. Yeah, I thought it was a golden crossbow. It's a shame you don't unlock that for 100% in the game. But there we go. To be fair, I could probably have a word with FTG and get hold of it, but don't need it. Don't say that about a lot of games. I kind of missed it. Well, I might have missed it. Cell key. Now, if I was a cell key, where would I sit? This might be one of those ones where I have to do thing. Oh, of course I'm going to give Exploding Kittens a go. I've heard so much about that, and I've looked at that and thought, like, so here's the problem that I have. There's a lot of board games that I would like to play that I don't get to play. I think I've got Exploding Kittens around. I've definitely got Throw Burrito, but what little time I actually get to get people together and play board games, there is an order of games that I want to play. And things like Exploding Kittens and Throw Burrito are never the tone that I want to play on any given night. They very much seem like games where, you know, you have a couple of drinks sort of thing. Although I have been told that it is absolutely fantastic. Is it? Do you have to use your... for here? Can't remember. I know you have to use it in there. Because we have to use that to basically find our way out. Think. Not that way. Oh, it's... No, Munchkin I found alright, but Munchkin was one of those ones where, again, I dropped in and played that without really knowing a lot about it. I like to play a game quite extensively before I make my decisions about it. Munchkin seemed good though. I played that again with the Ninja Pork. Would you have been there, Scatman, when we played Munchkin? He's already done his mwahaha moment. He'll have gone now, knowing if it's somebody that I know. He's probably already told me once and I've just forgotten. Cat was here a while. He wasn't there. Who was it that I was supposed to be looking for? Ah! There's the clue. Rat! Found it!
This cell. This prison.
Yeah, no worries, Weeps.
At the walls. Counting the days.
Cheers, dude. Thank you very much for watching.
Months. Years.
Can't remember which bit you're supposed to look at on this. I think you just have to look around it all and then it allows you to leave eventually.
It lives its own life now.
Hey!
I can no longer control it. My captors. They daunt me. They keep me just an inch from my final death. When I get out of here, and I will get out of here, I will hunt them down, and my vengeance will be legendary.
It's not that one, is it? Can you flit across there? Yes, you can. Lovely. Here. We could just flit down there, save having to climb. Because we're vampire, for fuck's sake. Memories. Oh no, we get to drop the water level of this area, I think. Nope, we just have to climb across with the pipe. Simple as that. Now we get to drop the water level. Ah, yes, it's all coming flooding back. We do. Well, you'll be happy to know, Buck, that with me in talks with the guys at Fast Travel Games, that is a distinct possibility. Because I can't, if they give me some keys to give away, I can't help myself. I'll have to play it then. It's another one of those ones where if we got enough people interested in it and enough people who have it, I'd add it to the Saturday rotation, which I know I've been a little bit lax of getting you guys playing with me in the chat, but it's because I've had lots of games to play that are kind of what's the word? Have reason to play them, as in I've been given a free key and it just allows me to show it off, but then there's usually a deadline with the work that I have to do, and you know, it means I get to give, you know, give keys away. Always too many games, not enough time. Shh, shh, quiet. But yeah, always too many games, not enough time. This is part of the reason why I've started doing, I mean, I'm going to try and make it as regular a thing as possible, but Monday nights are the ones that I'm going to bin off sooner rather than later. But it's Monday ones that I was going to do potentially flat screen games, right? Right? Yeah. I've been told that Gambit is via the waist. Oh. There we go. Little wiggle. Yeah, nice one, Von. Thank you very much. Giving those keys away for us. Most appreciated. I love that. There's few games that have got that climbing mechanic in it, and there's some that really should, where you can just fling yourself up and over. No, Gambit did, because it could have been Payday VR, but I just don't think it was handled like that, and Payday is definitely one of my favourites. Payday is definitely up there. Not enough collectibles. Not all of them have those additional XP thingies. Is that going to be enough? Possibly. But yeah, I think I've said recently I'm using a new site, and one of the a new site where I can, for anybody who's interested and anybody who is either thinking of doing what I do or already doing something like that, is I use a couple of sites. I was using Lurkit, which is kind of a channel for people like me to chat to devs, and then this Lurkit team do the thing in the middle and just basically get me keys. And then the more work you do, the more chance you'll get keys when you ask for them, or the more chance you'll be accepted automatically, or in my case, the more keys you'll be able to get. And I've started using another service because Lurkit just doesn't seem to be doing as many. And so what I'm doing now with Keymailer is I'm trying to basically get keys for as many games that I'm interested in and that I think you guys might have at least a passing interest in, or could be funny, or could be good, or ones that I already own and can play to a decent standard, and then show them off so I can kind of raise my profile on this Keymailer, because the higher profile I have, the more chance devs will actually, you know, not just go 4,000 subs, who are you? They might actually go, oh yeah, actually yeah, you can have a key because you do loads of coverage for other things. So that's a thing. I'm not even using Vanish. That one's not bad. Is that the one that I think it is? Theft of Vita. Your victim explodes in a fountain of blood, which gushes towards your open mouth, alleviating some hunger. So that then means that we can drain blood from a distance now. So this is our Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver ability. One day, Beavis, one day. It's a bit of everything, really. I mean, if I get given a key, one thing to know is if a game is not particularly good, I won't, you know, pull my punches on it. I try to look at the positives instead of concentrating on the negatives of the games. There's very few that I overly hype. The most recent one, though, that I was definitely guilty of, and I don't think it was overhyping either, was that Table of Tales. Oh, that was one hell of an experience. I really enjoyed that. It was better that you guys were there as well, granted. But yeah, that was one hell of an experience.
Did you find anything?
Yeah.
Yes, I found a cell in the floor of a large open sewer space.
Your cell.
By the scratches
You were
on the
drawing a
walls,
lot.
You were kept there for a very long time.
Too long.
There's more. I overheard people talking.
Anyone you recognized?
I just got here, remember? And there was a sewer wall between us. There was a man, Italian, definitely kindred, ordering his goons about.
His name is Tommaso Giovanni, Anziano in the Hecata.
Someone you know?
He is Elena Giovanni's elder, the one who embraced her. Ruthless and stinking rich. He is a minor player in the Hecata Council, desperate to become more important. Very much a person who would keep me imprisoned for reasons unknown to me.
So what's next?
Let's keep our focus on Elena. I'll make some inquiries of my own regarding Tommaso.
There's two things that I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that, as far as games that are coming up, and not just necessarily VR ones as well, I'm hoping that Space Marine 2 continues to do really well, because it looks like it's doing very well. And the reason being is I'm hoping that, you know, if Warhammer 40k does well, then maybe they'll make some more games, and then maybe, just maybe, some good ones will get onto VR. I mean, Battle Sisters wasn't bad, but, you know, it wasn't anything amazing. It wasn't anything standout. It was one of the traps that I suppose a lot of flat screen and some VR games can fall into, is you kind of took that game and skinned it with anything and it would have been okay. So, you know, where was the cutting through people with the chainsword, you know? That screams to be done in VR. Right, I am going to break my rule of not feasting on rats, and this is for your guys' comfort, because I assumed that red, I can't see it on the screen. Yeah, pretty intrusive. Oh yeah, Space Marine 2. The thing is, Space Marine 2 is almost a carbon copy, but obviously, you know, a lot more enemies on screen, different antagonists, different enemies within the game, i.e. Tyranids. That whole swarm engine means that there is an absolute multitude of them, and you know me, don't raise the HP, don't make them do more damage, just make more of them coming at me. So Space Marine is very much my kind of game, and the multiplayer looks ridiculously similar to what I used to play, which was the original Space Marine game. I used to be in a bloody clan / guild of all things as well. We were the Night Lords, and it was great. It's absolutely amazing. Is there another way for me to get my health back? I can hear you. We don't need to do that. Oh, well, let's get on with the next mission, and I'll eat a rat to get this off the screen. I went a little bit too gangbusters with arrows that I'm probably not going to use for anything other than grabbing secrets. Oh, actually, we probably won't have to feast on rats. No, I can stick to my guns. Stick to my guns. Stick to my guns, Louis. It's disgusting. So, yeah, my two hopes are Space Marine continues to outstand and gets attention to Warhammer and more devs start doing stuff with it. Good stuff as well, because Warhammer's all very, very hit and miss. And the other one is, please let Alien Rogue Incursion be good. But there's things that, to me, point into it's not going to be. So, but we'll see. We'll see. Because if Hitman VR has shown us anything, anybody can fuck up a good franchise. So, I feel like filth eating one of these. Hang on. Any humans? No. Oh, good. Hey, it could be worse, couldn't it? Eh? Could be worse.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. Ah, much better. Right. What are we doing again? Oh, hello. So this is the ability that we have now. Ah, don't run. No, don't run. Now we have the ability to hit them with a sleep dart. Again, I try not to do this too much because there are a lot of things that you can do in this game that trivialize it. But one of the advantages that you have with biting them once they have been hit by that sleep dart is it makes their blood more potent, so you get more out of it. So I think at this stage we're probably... What have we done? About 4 missions? So I think we're about... I would have said between a quarter and a third of the way through the game. And the levels now start getting more expansive and more difficult also.
Took you long enough to get here. Are you ready to stir the hornet's nest?
Less of it, Pedro, alright?
Yeah, sure.
I'll put you back in that cell if you like.
Anna, one of Elena Giovanni's twin ghouls, has her headquarters on the other side of a bridge a short distance away. She's a nasty piece of work for a mortal. Keeps her crew on a tight leash and the juice bags locked up in cages in the basement. I would hate to see anything happen to our operation.
I'm sure you would.
Jokes aside, they do rely on modern equipment to keep things running smoothly. Shouldn't be too hard to ruin their day.
So, how do you propose I do that?
I think trashing their servers will do just fine. I've got a man on the inside who can help you with the details. I told him you'd be stopping by for a chat. He's lurking near the bridge. Oh, he's masked like the rest of them, so don't kill him by mistake, would you?
I'm sure that won't happen. I don't kill people. They just die around me. Yeah, I do. Again, though, if I'm trying to think who the dev was, it's not interactive. Or is it Focus or Interactive? No, and it's not Saber. Saber are the ones that did Space Marine, if memory serves. But if I remember rightly, the people that are doing Alien Rogue Incursion have got a good pedigree in one game and then a bad one from another. So, or like a mediocre one for another. Oh, that drains that, and then we have to go round, don't we? Yes, now I remember. Again, there's various secrets that I'm missing. I think there's one up there, but we haven't needed greater health. Or can we go around here now? Yes, we can. Oh, let's have a look. Because I like climbing. Again, there are a lot of games where the climbing feels laboured and kind of like tacked on, and even in some circumstances that very same climbing can be like instrumental to how the game is played and how the game works. Oh, actually no, we would have been fine. There was no water there. Panic over, chat. They just did a very good job of that. And again, that little thing of being able to just like throw yourself up. In other games it does feel a little off. In this one,
What the?
could I enter your abode? Ooh, I think I might have scared her so badly that she just went and ran herself into a plate of some description. Are you okay? Good evening. What a lovely night it is. Oops. No, it almost worked. So we could have got up here normally anyway. Again, as I said, there's a great sense of maneuverability and and I suppose even a sense of like kind of like the parkour, like looking at your environment, traversing it. Holding the vampire senses won't show you how to do it either. But yeah, there's definitely something very cool about it. Very cool. As he drops off. Fine, I'll come and do your stupid mission. I am trying not to show too much of this off as well. I'd love nothing more than to run through it. It is going to take me a while, though. In fact, actually, I didn't realise it was 11 o'clock. We'll complete this mission. If I remember rightly, this one's quite difficult. We'll complete this mission, and then we'll call it a night, I think.
Anna, as you'd know better than most, was one of Elena Giovanni's ghoul attendentes. She was the cool-headed one. It made sense she would be in charge of human trafficking.
I can skip these. I will skip these. Again, I've listened to all the story. Most of the cutscenes, the ones that are kind of out of game.
The path to the Fondaco isn't as clear as I thought. Recent floods
Managed to find your way back into a cell, did you, Pedro?
And the Hecata's mortal arm has basically been able to cordon the entire island off. Someone must be paying a lot of money to local law enforcement for them to turn a blind eye. The bridge ahead is fortified. I don't think this will be a major problem for you. Just thought you'd want to know.
Well, thanks very much. I'll take that under advisement. Right, have a quick wet, and then we'll get this one done, and then we'll call it a night. That's one of the ones that I'm potentially going to be having a look at next, Bucky. I want to try it as well. It doesn't... I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fun, but I don't know how fun it'll be for how long. It should be a laugh, but to me, that game looks like... It really looks like a one and done, and I think if it's... It could become a bit boring, if honest, so... No, that is true, but then I would rather get the game... The thing is... Scream, come on now. You'll never hear me scream except Cosmo Dread and Aliens in Rogue Incursion if it's really good. And even then, you know, don't scream in Cosmo Dread either. There's definitely no shorts of me screaming in Cosmo Dread. Definitely, definitely. I do love Cosmo Dread. Definitely one of my favourites. Oh, okay. The only thing that concerned me... is around... jump scares don't get me. Or they don't often get me. It's when you have a game where the level of tension is constantly being built. And even then, like, you know, they don't jump scare at the end. It's just tension, tension, tension. It's one of the reasons why... It's one... of the Cosmo Dread is a very solid game still, like proper it's a roguelike horror game, and it's as sweet as it sounds. You could in theory play that game forever and continually get into those situations where you are dreading the next room, dreading what's around the next corner. As I demonstrated on stream by playing it in a stupidly difficult mode, if you don't play it smart, you can like snooker yourself, and then you've got no choice but to take massive gambles which are probably going to result in you dying. So jumps at you, yeah. Hey, I'm happy to be wrong about those sort of games. I mean, but then that's the other problem as well. Has it been made in mind for streamers? Because games that are made in mind for streamers aren't usually that good for people who actually want to play a game.
Pietro told me to meet you here. Said you have information for me.
I can't stand what they're doing here any longer.
Right.
Someone has to stop them.
Okay. So what can you tell me about the storehouse?
It's heavily guarded, both by roaming patrols and security cameras. They keep all their info on a closed-loop server in the Fondaco. Destroying that will create serious issues for them. Getting in there without triggering security is going to be hard.
If you hate them so much, why don't you do anything about it yourself?
I can't risk them tracing anything back to me. They'll go after my family.
You're lucky I'm here to sort it out for you.
I wrote a script for you. It will nuke the contents of their servers. It's on this thumb drive. I'm sure you'll figure out how to use it. Make them pay for what they've done.
Thumb drive, please. Oh. Yeah, I did see that one as well. Yeah, IM security looks good. I've had various experiences in my life of doing security work. So, yeah, it could be amusing. I've never really done the bouncering thing. So... I come from a time when bouncers were just there to look big and hard, not talk situations down. yeah, I've seen that. Hey, Shuey's doing very well out of it, so good luck to him. Thing is, that game should be doing absolutely gangbusters on the store as well. Is it down there that we get to go? No, we're going over that way. Ah, I remember now. Shit. Fuck's sake. There's me saying, oh, I wish there was an option. Can't even fucking hit it when it's right there. Oh, come on. I mean, we could just get right close to it, couldn't we? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I can't remember the reason to do that. Is it tied to a secret, or does it just put me up here? Because that's where we started. There was definitely a reason to do that. I can't remember what it was. Every club and that in Nuki. You had to be wide and big to be a bouncer in Nuki. Oh, right, yeah. Okay, Kim. Laugh it up. No, the thing is, that's not how it is these days. These days, you need bouncers like how I used to do the security side of things, where it was about talking situations down as opposed to just basically knocking heads together. I see no reason why we should engage in that tripe. Now, yeah, if I remember rightly, this mission is quite difficult. Right. Well, no, but that's the problem, is when it's when you're doing it as a job, it's not about picking battles. You have to be able to do it all. Can I go around there still?
Really?
Yes.
Again?
Yes, I
That's
can.
3 times this week. How can you drop a key 3 times in 1 week? Lucky for you, we have a spare one in the guardhouse.
Now, where did you lose the key? Catch this.
Oh, this is so not okay. I think I saw the bastard over there.
Better deal with some of you. Thin the numbers out. You could. That 7th bullet. Yeah, you'd be on the door after a smoking gun. Get out of my way. You'd be on the door after a gun-toting shootout. I know what you're thinking. Did I fire 6 shots or did I fire 7 shots? Well, do you feel lucky about the big bullet? Well, do you, punk?
Watch your six.
Nope. Sorry. Nope.
This isn't the time to relax.
Damn. Oh, that was quick enough. You could easily go through every level, systematically killing absolutely everybody.
Time to settle this. I know. I heard the intruder.
You didn't hear nothing. Ah, where was it? I've got to go. I've got to get over there. I've got the key.
No.
Yes. And away. It's this bit that's hard, but if you clear a few of the enemies out of the way, you can make it a little easier for yourself. But I think one of the ways that you have to do this, you have to do it without killing anybody. It can be difficult, but if you've got those, and plenty of them, and you feast on rats, you can just sleep all the necessary people that you need to. Although they're quite expensive bolts. So we need to get across there, and I think we need to go through there, yes.
I know I heard the intruder.
You didn't hit shit. Yum, 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 yum.
Closing in on him.
You need some blood. You tell when I'm trying hard to stealth, even I didn't realise I would go quiet. Oh, silent stream when? It'd probably be on this, me trying to do every mission silently. Stealthily. The trick is basically to never be on the ground. Oh. Well, that was probably not ideal. So I have found... In fact, no, I didn't find that. That might have been something that's creeped in. I do find that some games do seem to get worse a little bit over time, especially when they're not being updated. This level, if memory serves, especially if you're not killing much, there's a lot of enemies. And as you get closer to the pockets of big ones, some of the ones that you should have killed... Fuck! Faffed it. Some of the ones that you should have killed are still alive.
Nothing to report here.
Smoke them out. Can you see them?
We'll give them a nice welcome if they show up here.
Reporting in.
Yeah, you and me both.
Oh, I know I heard something.
I'm kind of hoping for that in Rogue Incursion. But then the thing is, I then would have to give you the silent stream that you're all hoping for. Did you hear me?
They show we're ready to roll.
I lost the trespasser.
Reporting in. Nothing found. Keep your eyes open.
Keep your guard up. Report back.
I'm taking. I think I saw the bastard over there.
It's quiet now.
What the?
Dun 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 dun. Oh, it would have been better if that door had closed. What's going on out there? Jesus. Ooh, rat snack.
We'll give them a nice welcome if they show up.
Never. Thumb drive in. Mission accomplished. Leave the area.
Yeah, someone said they saw a monster, and I told them.
Can't see them, but they can't have gone far.
I wish that they could hear my voice as well, because then I could go... I could do that all stream. All stream. Wouldn't need bricks.
Something here.
No sign of the intruder.
Wouldn't need bricks anymore. See, this is stealth. Systematically going around and murdering everybody whilst being quiet is not stealth. I'm afraid. That is stealth. Someone send Indy the memo. Again, though, that's how I like to play this game. You may like to play it completely differently. And the fact is, you can. Predator. We are not a predator. Pacifist. Well, we're not one of those either. And on that bombshell, we shall end it there. A pretty bad showing for me on these missions. All of these optionals are doable, though. You just have to spend a little bit more time than I have on the levels. But it is all doable, and it is a very good game. With if you take nothing else away from this one, it is that it's a good game, and there's so many ways to do so many things in this one as well. Is it going to have hundreds of playthroughs for you? No. But are you going to be able to kind of play the way that you want to as a vampire and enjoy the game? Yes. Yes, you are. This has been Vampire the Masquerade Justice, running natively on the Quest 3. I have been Silver-Tongued Vampire. Good night.